Robert, who was it who said about this, tough guy this, tough guy that? But while we were talking after Mar-a-Lago, you told me about a miracle that had occurred in healing when you were, what, 17 years old? What happened?
Yeah. Well, I went to Seton Hall High School in Patchogue, New York, which was a very good prep school, one of the
Right.
top. And I was great in football. First place New York State solo competition singing, also acting, not to give the accolades, but to go where my mindset was.
Tell us all. Tell us all.
So I was very successful. I got the Raymond J. Barbuti Award for the most promising athlete on the Eastern Seaboard. Princeton, Yale, Colgate, they were all after me. Weeb Eubank came to watch me play from the New York Jets. So right
as
after
a football player?
as a football player, yeah, I was beyond good.
What position did you play?
Offensive tackle, offensive guard, defensive tackle. I kicked extra points. Once I was in the game, I was moved all over the place, and I was in that game for the whole time. I was very fast.
This is in high school, Seton Hall.
High school, okay. Seton Hall.
So what happens?
So right after junior year, we were 27-0. I get sick. It's a cold, we think. And then I go to the doctor, and it becomes pleurisy, and then pneumonia. They don't know what it is. And I'm at home taking antibiotics, taking treatments. And I was there a couple of months, and nothing is really getting better. Now I can't move. I can't lift my arm up. I can't walk. I'm debilitating. My uncle, George, comes to the house. It was right after the holidays. He sees me in my bedroom. He looks at me. And he says to my mother, Mary, take him to the hospital now. We go to the hospital. They admit me to the hospital, and I'm there for about a month and a half, 2 months, they not knowing what I have.
Holy God.
So from 240 and 20-inch arms, 22-inch arms, I go to 170, 165, 160, and I'm wasting away.
You're shrinking.
I'm shrinking. And my mother was a very devout Catholic, Michael. She used to be the head of confraternity for Long Island. She gave catechism classes. My dad was a sacristan at the church, and we were very involved in the church. Cut to, there was a guy named Joey Lamangino, blind guy. A tire blew up in his face. His family had a carting company, sanitation, when he was a young boy. Cut his olfactory and his optic nerves. He couldn't smell, he couldn't see.
Jesus.
Now, there was a myth of a man called Padre Pio at the time, in the 60s, 50s. All Italians knew about him. It was legendary. He had the stigmata of Christ. He was, if you see this painting behind me over here, that man with the beard, that's Padre Pio in the back.
I was wondering, that black and white?
Yeah, that's Padre Pio there. That's a painting done in Italy of him blessing me. That was done a few years ago by a big artist.
Is he still living?
No, Padre Pio died in 1968. He was alive when I was sick. Now, Joey Lamangino.
Wait, that's you, though, with him.
That's me with him. Yes, an artist that I did a thing.
Okay.
An artist
put you together.
Put us together, yes, because it's not. So
Padre Pio means Father Pio.
Father correct? Pio, yes.
He was a Catholic priest?
Catholic monk and a priest. He was a Franciscan and a priest. He had the stigmata of Christ. Mishpukas would go to him, doctors. They would get cured.
Wait, tell me as a non-Catholic, what the actual stigmata on his hand?
Yes, he bled from his hands and his feet. And during the Mass, a crucifix would come here. He would sometimes lose his sense of time when he was saying the Mass at the Eucharistic moments. This was all told to us, okay? And you could read about it.
He was a mystic, a Catholic mystic.
Catholic mystic. Okay. And of course, there are many mystics we know of, but we've never met them, right?
So the garbage man that you mentioned, I'm not trying to denigrate him.
Yeah.
Knew this Padre Pio.
Went to San Giovanni Rotondo in Foggia, Italy, where Padre Pio was. That's where he said Mass, and as a monk, that's where he lived as a priest in a little cell.
The guy who got blinded, the garbage guy.
The guy, yeah, Joey Lamangino, who was blind.
They took him to Italy to meet Padre.
He wanted to meet Padre Pio. He did, and now he went to confession with Padre Pio. And it was legendary that if you went to confession with Padre Pio, he would then say to you, Michael, what about this? What about that, Michael? Mm-hmm. Did you examine your conscience in this area? And you would go, nobody knows that. He also had...
He could look through people.
Yes, and he did this. He had bilocation, and he did this with Joey. And when he blessed Joey on the forehead like this. Joey was almost knocked over with the sense of smell that he hadn't had for decades. And Padre Pio said, you will receive new sight. So this Joey Lemongino would go in Long Island and show slides of Padre Pio, talk about his own experience with him, because he would go to Italy quite often with Padre Pio, and Fatima and Garabandel. And I remember as a kid seeing these things. And I said to my mother, in this hospital bed where I'm wasting away in Huntington Hospital, Long Island, I said, Mom, do you think Joey can ask Padre Pio to pray for me? And they do. And he sends a telegram is sent from Padre Pio, pray blessings, I'm no doctor, and a pair of rosary beads that were blessed by him. I prayed on those rosary beads. My mother dreamt of his mass. A week later, Dr. Eugene Teisch, Huntington, Long Island Hospital, Saturday morning, I'm sitting up in the bed for the first time, and he says, Mary, if you told me your son would be in this shape a week ago, I'd say only a miracle. All the nuns, everybody, the priests, the Jesuits all said, you were saved for a reason. You know, there's a reason why you're here. As you understand that, Mike, better than anybody.
Amen.
Okay? There's a reason why you're here and why you're doing what you're doing, or what you have to do. And that kind of pushed me through a lot of difficult times, because
Wait, from that moment on, you're healing.
I'm healing, got better, played football again, but I decided to go into the arts. Yes, this was like, I took a year off of school, went back the next year, and then got scholarships to Hofstra for acting and music and everything else.
Oh, so you left the sports arena.
Yes.
And went into the more sensitive arts arena.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, so that's how you moved over. It was the miracle healing.
Yes.
That touched that part of your soul.
Yes.
The kind, gentle side of your soul was ignited by Padre Pio. Would you say that's an accurate outside view?
Well, the outside view is it was always there, but I was going to play. My plan was to play football, pro ball, and then go into the arts. But this totally changed the whole paradigm. I went right into the arts, and of course did my first film with Sinatra, then went to Manhattan, studied with Stella Adler, one of the greatest coaches of all time.
Well, let's go back in a minute, Robert, because you talk about a miracle. What do you think at this stage of your life happened that healed you?
Well, the intercession, a saint intercedes and helps pray and gives you, it's like when it's laying of the hands. There's something mystical that transpires. And this is what all came full circle at Mar-a-Lago that Tuesday night, Michael.
How?
So Joey Lemongino was the guy's name. Now I'm here.
He was there at Mar-a-Lago?
No.
Oh.
Wait. So Joey, I'm at Mar-a-Lago. I haven't heard, Joey Lemongino died. Haven't heard or met anybody from that family for decades.
Got it.
Here I am at Mar-a-Lago on such a biblical night, on a night we all know was a miracle. God's hand was there.
It was a miracle.
Okay, let's not be shy about that. Now what happens is I'm meeting people, of course, some I knew, some I didn't, and my friend Lee takes me to this other room where in the sanctum of these good friends of Donald Trump are, smaller room, and they meet. This is so and so. This is so and so, and this is Anthony Lamangino.
That's the son of the older Lamangino?
No, I go, Anthony Lamangino. I go, are you related to Joey Lamangino? He goes, it was my brother. I had 5 brothers. He was the brother I was closest to.
I met him. Remember I told you a year ago at Mar-a-Lago.
Oh, you met this guy.
Slender guy, right?
Yes.
Is he married to a younger, very attractive woman? Was she there?
Yes, she was there. They were. I have a picture I'll send you.
I was in a room a year before.
Oh, my gosh.
Mar-a-Lago, again, an inner sanctum with 6 guys, and Donald Trump was holding court, showing pictures of all the world leaders he met, rapping on him like an actor. This guy says he likes nuclear bombs, and he would throw the picture on the floor. This one, and we were standing there stunned because he was like just doing stand-up comedy for 6 or 7 of us.
So funny.
And this fellow who you're mentioning, he mentioned his name.
Anthony Lamangino.
Said started with one garbage truck and now runs the garbage industry in Nassau County, something like that.
Something big. But then he goes to me, and this is Joey's son. And Joey's son is a tall, strapping young guy living in Sarasota, I find out. So I haven't heard from that family forever. So I say And they heard about my story because they recently did a documentary on Saint Padre Pio, because Pope John Paul II made him a saint, because when he was a young diocesan priest in Krakow, he went to Padre Pio, and Padre Pio told him at 22 years old, 24 years old, someday you will lead the church. He told us, and then he goes,
wow.
And then he cured some women in his diocese in Krakow and other people over the years.
This is Padre Pio did all this stuff.
Yes, now he's named Saint Pio.
Okay.
Now he's a saint.
Is it P-E-O?
P-I-O.
P-O. P-I-O.
Yeah, Padre Pio, Saint Padre Pio,
wow,
or Saint Pio
now.
So now he goes, and this is his son. And I say to them, I says, oh my God. I go, your brother got in touch with Padre Pio for me. And it was so emotional that night already. It's already 2:00 in the morning, 2:30.
This is at Mar-a-Lago, the night of the win.
The win. And I say to them, I go, if this isn't proof, if people are doubting, you can't have any doubt. I says, how would I meet you decades later at Mar-a-Lago?
On a night of a miracle.
On the night of a miracle.
Another miracle.
A huge miracle. How would that be? It makes no sense. And everybody teared up, and it was very emotional to me and the Lemonginos and other people that were listening and seeing this.